Hi YouTube, this is Sage with Fashionably Safe again. Fashionably Safe, where safety is always in fashion. And honestly, this is like my third video today. I was actually supposed to be working on my website and getting some new products put in, but I've been working on videos all day. I'm new to YouTube, so it's a learning curve, and I have learned a lot just in last 24 hours. So this is another video. This is on Paris Milan's channel, and she does great content. And I was actually going to do a story on this young lady myself, but Paris, she put it up, and she's so amazing at the content and the way she puts everything together. She's a great reporter, so I'm borrowing this. I hope she doesn't mind. But we need to get this information out there. My last couple of videos have been about women's safety, particularly Black women's safety. And tomorrow I'm going to, because I don't have my website up yet and I don't have my products out there yet. I have products, but they're just not on the site yet. But I actually have products in stock here in my home. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, I am going to do a quick kind of like a tutorial. I'm just going to show some products that you can use to keep safe that you should already have on hand. But I know some women are apprehensive about products, about stun guns and pepper sprays and things they can use to protect themselves. So I'm going to show you some things tomorrow live. I've never done a live before. So yeah, I hope I don't screw it up. But please tune in if you want to learn more about products. And you don't have to get the products from me. I'll attach some links to where you can purchase them on Amazon and get them on Prime and get them quickly at some products that I trust, some companies that I trust. There's some really good personal safety, self-defense companies out there who have really good products, dependable. But tomorrow I'm going to go over stun guns. I'm going to go over some knives and things that you can keep on you that you won't even know is a weapon, because my company, it's all about women having things that work into their own personal lifestyle and things that are easy to carry but aren't actually weapons. But let me get on with this video. This is a very important video. It's like 21 minutes. I'm just going to let it go through. I'm going to try not to interrupt, but I've watched most of it and had me hot. But I'm going to let Paris tell you what's going on. And here we go.
Have a good night. Have a good night.
As bold as can be. As bold as can be. Gloves ready. And what do you think he was going to do when he got in there? He was ready. He didn't care. Broad daylight. You're probably listening in.
I wanted to make this video to spread awareness of Black women who have been violated, stalked, harassed, and or attacked by men, and a lot of these men are being caught on their doorbell surveillance cameras. Since the beginning of this year, crime against Black women has been at an all-time high. According to Black Femicide, over 1,000 of us have been taken out. And this is something that I have been heavily speaking about on my channel. And not only is it because misogynoir is incredibly rampant, also there's a sense of desperation since we are in a Pikachu, and that desperation has caused people to engage in very erratic behavior. I'm beginning to notice a pattern that a lot of these women facing these attacks are either single mothers or women who are single and living alone. And I wanted to begin with Black empowerment social media influencer, author, orator, content creator, Kezia M. Williams. She is the founder of the Black Upstart, which is a national initiative to train African-American entrepreneurs. She currently leads the United Negro College Fund National Entrepreneurship Initiative. So her expertise is in Black financial literacy, literacy. And in addition to this, she is on the Pepsi Diggin Advisory Board. She posted on her Instagram today, "This week, an unknown man followed me home and attempted to break in with zip ties in his pocket. I had just let my dog out. I heard him barking and this man was standing in my front yard. I barely got in the house and locked the door before he proceeded to turn my doorknob. Then he put on gloves and began to shove at my door, attempting to force it open several times. Then he tried to lift every window, tried to yank my balcony door open, ripping my screen from its hinges, circled my home 3 times, and when my neighbor came outside, pretended to water my grass like my lawn guy so that she wouldn't become suspicious. When she went back inside, he again tried to push his way through my door again, covering the camera and pulling it down so he would not be seen. I was on the phone with 911, locked in a room the whole time, watching from my cameras, absolutely terrified. He didn't carry a bag to steal things, and he didn't care that 2 cars were parked in my driveway. He somehow knew I was alone. My call log showed I waited 28 minutes for the police. He fled at minute 22 before police arrived, or at least that's when I texted my mom and let her know that he finally started walking away. My friend noted, he didn't have a bag to steal something, so I know he wasn't after my stuff. Ladies, do not play with your security. Every corner of my house caught this attack on my home that hashtag God forbid could have become an attack on my person. I own a taser. I own pepper spray. I will be buying door stops. I will now register for a gun. And I am a praying woman, so I don't mind going to my knees to the Lord. And make sure you have friends and a God who will show up to cover you when you feel unsafe, making sure that no weapon formed against you will prosper. I called my friend who had a gun who showed up to make sure my house was secure. It's just starting to dawn on me. Zip ties. My God is greater than my fear. Though I can't lie, I'm still coping and I'm still afraid. Pray for your professor." So she went on to post on her story that he is wanted, and she was asking if anyone could help her identify this man. She also went on a post on her story to help her find him, and she stated that this happened in Maryland, and she said her doorbell caught these images, and she said thank you to at GQ_Q for these screenshots and helping me get images that will help me find him. His pocket is circled and you can see the imprint of a gun. She also posted and said, "Safety tip, I could not find a taser in Target, Best Buy, or Dick's Sporting Goods. I had to go to a gun store to buy one." She also posted the messages. The day it happened between her and a friend, and she said the day it happened, I was on the phone with 911 and texted my friend. She said, "I'm crying. He keeps trying to get in my window." The friend said, "Where are you?" She said, "I'm locked in my room on the phone with police." And they asked how long till the police arrived. She said the lady said she didn't know. "He's banging on my back door." The friend asked, "Is he still there?" She says, "Yes." The friend says, "That's crazy. Call me as soon as they get there." She said, "Okay." He got up and walked to the end of the block. "I don't know why the police are taking so long." She says, "The police are here," and they said, "Show them the picture." She said, "I'm really scared." She also posted a video of when the police showed up, and I'll let you guys see that.
Whistling. Oh my gosh. See how crafty they are? He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. Because this is what they do.
Camera recording.
She then posted on her story, she says, "My friends are incredible and licensed to carry. They made me feel safe."
You just want to put it on your Insta story. I don't know if I'm putting on there because I don't know if I want people to believe. Here.
Okay, let me stop there. Just a quick tip, and I'm going to add the link to this video at some point. It's great that she has a camera. I also have a ring alarm, but I also have a floodlight that's on the front of my house over my garage that's pointing at my cars. And what I love about it is that not only is it a bright light, but it also has a siren on it, and it also allows me to speak to whoever's outdoors. So when her neighbor came out, if she would have went to her phone, and if she would have had this, went to her phone and pushed the button, the siren would have came on, and she actually could have yelled out to her neighbor. That is, I take my safety very seriously. And that is definitely something that you ladies need to look into. A door alarm is great, but you need to have all the perimeters of your house and of your property. You need to have it going, because they will come from all over. And he's very, very sneaky. Very sneaky.
She posted information on her Instagram showing how the process works to purchase a weapon, especially in her state. And she says, life is too precious. I hope this helps someone else. I didn't know any of this, but I do now. Here is his photo. If any of you recognize him, if you see him anywhere, please contact the police. He is clearly stalking, harassing, and harming women. The fact that he was prepared and had all his tools ready,
He was ready. He was very comfortable.
and he was going to harm this woman and violate her. But even if it wasn't her, I'm sure he has done this before, and he will go on to harm again until he's found. What bothers me the most is that not only that Black women are unprotected, but this is a pro-Black woman. She invests, and her life's work is all about enriching, empowering, and fortifying and encouraging the generational wealth and the unification of Black people. An example is this post that she made. She said, some Black man's unapologetic asset. I say this with zero humility. Black men need Black women, and Black women need Black men. We need each other, and that's why I will never quit on my belief that Black men can do exceedingly and abundantly above all things when our kings make their mindset an asset and their purpose the driver for generational change. And since Black Women Guarantee returns, I believe the two joined together with God in between is a powerful threefold cord. Our community thrives when we choose one another in all ways, absent the influence of unfounded stereotypical tropes. Black people can be exceptional. Black people can be communal. Black people can be consistently and generationally successful. Black people can be financially secure. Black people can be wealthy. Black people can do all things except fail unless we quit on ourselves. So she, above all, should be most protected. Of course, every Black woman should be protected. But if we're talking about in terms of a hierarchy within the Black community of protection, she and Black women like her should be top of the line. And even that does not guarantee that they are going to be protected because there's not really a code of conduct that Black men are creating, implementing, and enforcing amongst the collective of Black men. Obviously, you can receive individual protection, but when we're talking about the collective and in the grand scheme of the community, that's not occurring. And it would be remiss and frankly naive of us to assume that other communities are not observing this lack of protection that Black women are experiencing. Because these other communities see the Black women are unprotected, some of them will proudly exploit our vulnerability, and they do this with impunity. And so I'm really happy that Kezia was not harmed, but I really want us to be vigilant about this. And this is exactly what I was talking about in the video regarding the stalker and the woman that I gave the alias of the name Courtney in Texas. Or this man had been following her for a while, and he just appeared at her door trying to force her to give him her number. And it was very nauseating to see the amount of people infantilizing and coddling Dalvin, saying that he just seemed a little slow and he didn't know what he was doing. She should have just given him the time of day because he seems like a sweet guy. And they were pretty much blaming her and making him out to be this victim. But the police were very dismissive of her claims. And sadly, Courtney ended up losing her job because it went viral. I know some people are going to think like, how did that happen? Well, there are some companies that don't want to be associated with situations like this, especially if they go viral. They don't want that sort of madness coming to the place of employment, and they just don't want to have any affiliation. So it's really sad that that happened to her, and it seems like he got off scot-free. But also to know that other women were saying that he did the same thing to them. He would be luring them. He would use his job as an opportunity to get these women's private information or contact them. And it turned out, according to Courtney's complex, he doesn't live there. But since then, I've been seeing more and more videos of this occurring to other women, like what happened to the woman in the fake floral delivery man. She said, I lived in ATL for a little over 3 months. A man delivered me flowers in a white van, brought the flowers up the stairs, rang the doorbell and asked, was my name blank? I said, yes. He then asked, can he bring the flowers in? They are really heavy. I said, yes. He then entered, laid the flowers on the kitchen counter, turned around, looked like he had a gun in his hand. I jumped back and said, what the F are you doing? He began to tase me with the police taser for about 10 seconds. I somehow pulled the cords out. I ran up the stairs to the gun, and he walked out the house, got in his van, left like nothing happened. I couldn't find my keys. I got my 2 kids up and ran down the street for about 2 to 3 minutes for help. It took police 30 minutes to come. I was panicking the whole time because I was bleeding from my stomach due to the needles being pulled out. When I finally got home, thinking I'm going to show the police my home camera, everything was deleted from the doorbell camera and inside the home. As you see in the other video, somebody was watching me for about 8 days before they made a move on me. So ladies, be careful and watch your surroundings. This could happen to you. Stop saying what you will do or asking people what happened to me. Mind your effing business. I don't trust a soul. It could have been you reading this. Whoever screenshotted this, a friend, heck, a secret enemy. Heck, I don't know. I'm just grateful to be here. My mom had me and my boys covered. Stop asking about the story. Here it go. So since her story went viral, she went on the news and here's what she stated happened.
I'm terrified right now just because, I'm a single mom. I don't live with a man. So now it's like I'm calling my older boy because like, hey, you want to live with me? Like I'm scared for my life. Like, and I'm not a stupid female. I don't just let random people in my house that seemed like a real home delivery guy. He at least paid like $300 for those flowers. He set them down. When he turned around, he pointed something at me. It looked just like a gun. And I was getting tased probably for like 10 seconds. I never stepped foot back into that house when I left.
So she hired a private investigator to locate where he could have potentially bought the flowers from so that they could ID him. And the investigator was unable to find any flower shop in the area that would have made the transaction. She also went on to review her surveillance.
His flower
saw
shop.
that this same person was pretending to be an exterminator. You could tell by looking at it that he was sizing up her cameras to see where they were located at. So he had been stalking her for 8 days prior. She just didn't realize it. And this is my own conjecture. This could be 100% not the case. But what I believe is that he might be some sick, twisted, demented pervert from Instagram that was following her. And he was looking at a couple of her photos and saw her posing with flowers in some of them. So assumed that she liked flowers, found her through her IP address, which you could locate anybody through an email, an IP address, and was able to find out where she lived at and then appeared at her house. Or he could have just found her in person somewhere and started following her. But what makes me suspect it's from social media is because her Instagram page contains what appears to be her first name based on the news report as well as her last name. And it's like, how else would he have had that information?
See, now I agree that all those things are possible, but also if, and I have to find the report. I was researching not too long ago about the dark web and how there are people, regular citizens, who are putting hits out on others. There was another, she was a web sleuth, and she had, the person she was investigating actually went to the dark web and had someone put a hit out on her. And this is happening. And I've just had this sneaky suspicion that I've been noticing a lot of the so-called unprovoked or strange happenings with women lately. And in my mind, I think they're hits. I think that she may have someone in her life who wants her gone. It could be an ex. It can be anybody. And they want her gone. Because if you look at the guy, he was professional. He was dressed. He had the right. The van was white, no description on it. Big, beautiful flowers. This was professional. This wasn't just some Pookie coming to the door. This was somebody who knew where she lived, knew what he was looking for, and he checked her out. So I agree. All of those things about social media and all of that could definitely be it. But there also could be someone is out there trying to actually get her.
Instagram page, it shows her email address and it also shows a number. So I don't think it's her real actual number, or maybe she could have added the contact information after this all happened. Either way, for your own safety, I would recommend that you remove that. I'm not saying this is your fault in any way all whatsoever. You never deserve this. And I hope that you and your children have someone there living with you, like what you said in the news segment. He is going to do this again, and the next time,
look at him. He is professional. He is covered up.
It could be fatal. So
look at him. He's covered up.
It also shows a
from
number.
head to toe. Let me get back.
When they're living with you, like
I'm sorry, I'm gonna make this longer.
Can't be time. It could be fatal. So if he's not found quickly,
look at him from head to toe. You can't even tell what race he is because he has gloves on. It looks like a nice sunny day. Gloves on. He's brought props. His face is covered, completely dressed in black. You can't tell me that this is not Pookie. This is not somebody who just sits around watching her. Somebody is after her. I'm sorry. That just,
If any of you
Look at
know
him.
him, if you
Because
recognize him,
who would think that this man, who
the
would think
same
that he
thing has
wasn't
happened to
doing
you,
a job?
please come forward so that he can be locked up. He needs a hefty prison sentence because he clearly is preying on vulnerable women that he knows is living alone. So he needs to be done away with. The next woman I wanted to discuss, her incident actually happened within a day of this woman with the Flower Man attack. And this woman on Facebook made this post, and here's what she said. This dude sat in my parking lot waiting for me to come home, then followed me in, and I had no idea he even came in behind me until my neighbors showed me off her camera. I wouldn't have thought nothing of it, but my sister said she saw him come in behind me, and he had a gun in his back waistband of his pants. He came up the stairs seconds behind me, and when he noticed my neighbor camera, he turned around and went back downstairs. I have no idea who this man is or what he wants. If he comes back, we definitely gonna be ready, locked, and loaded. So if anybody know this man, I suggest y'all tell him, find something safe to do, because I'm not gonna play with him. I've already made a police report. So I wanted to show you guys the neighbor's Ring camera so you can see how he crept up behind her.
Lock your door. She needs a stronger door. Look at this. Look at this. Look at him.
So you saw that Mephistophelian sneaking up behind her, and he waited as she's carrying her sleeping child up the stairs. If he would have came up behind her, what could she have done with a child in her hands?
And that's another thing. It's just about opportunity. He saw her and he followed her. And she had a baby. She was distracted, like a lot of us are with our children, and we just want to get them in the house and get them laid down so we can relax and do what the hell we need to do. But we're being followed and don't even know it.
Thankfully, she was able to get into her home before he could get to her, but to know that he
She
had
really
a
just
gun
made
on
it.
his waistband. They know that these women are alone. They know that they usually have children, and they figure, well, no man is living there, so I might as well go ahead and stalk her because nobody's going to find out. And since then, she still has not been able to locate the man. So if any of you guys recognize this man, this woman is living in Tennessee. He is armed and very dangerous.
And another thing, we already know that they're not looking for us. They're not going to a police report is great, but they're not looking for this man. They're not going to look for him because he hasn't done anything yet, and they're going to wait until he has come back and killed her or killed someone else. And they probably already know there's someone out there doing that. But do you think they're going to get together and say, hey, there's a possible stalker in the neighborhood or in the community? No. A lot of times we don't find out that there's somebody till there's a serial killer out there. They never tell the public because they never want us to be scared or worried. I'm like, scare me. Make me worried. Let me know what's going on. I'm sorry, I keep stopping this video.
You know him, please contact the police. Last woman that I wanted to show, she posted this on her Facebook and Instagram, and thank you so much to my subby, Saint Teneria, for sending this to me. And this woman said, repost. Anybody know this man? He's been at my door playing with himself in front of my door. This is sick for real. So in this woman's video, she can see this man come into her home multiple times with his in his hand, and he's with it every time he walks past her door.
Just nasty. He probably got a wife, baby at home. Just nasty. Jesus. Mm. Oh my God.
I had to blur that out. She posted it on her Facebook and Instagram, but it was taken down. It wasn't blurred in the videos that she showed. So they reported her post, but she wanted anyone who recognized him or know him to please call the police. She is located in Orlando, Florida. So this is some Floridian man. If any of you know him, please contact the police because he is engaging in extremely predatory behavior. Again, this woman is a single mother. She's located in this complex, and then you have this demon just coming up to her door, violating her, as well as her children who could have potentially
Probably
saw that.
watching her.
And someone in the comments said to her, call the police on his aim. She said, yes, I did. They said, good thing I put it on the internet because people that stay around here have videos of him too. So
See?
someone else said, it just looks like he is watching and can't do it in his house. So he walk outside, but it's still weird to be honest. She said, he don't stay in my building. Never seen him before. Why come to the third floor if you have a car? Others have reported that he was doing the same
Why are we
thing.
making
And some people are
excuses?
suspecting that he's doing this because he doesn't have Wi-Fi, so he's using their Wi-Fi.
Oh my
But
God,
either way,
no.
that's still
He's a
decent
pervert.
exposure. You can still be locked up for engaging in those crimes. The intention of why somebody does these things
It don't
never
matter.
matters. I need for us to stop justifying it. And in these videos, you can just see how these women minding their business, going on about their
Minding your
day, they
business.
can't even have a peace of mind.
You
And
can't.
thankfully, these women do have, or their neighbors have, surveillance cameras, but don't rely on your
You
neighbors
can't.
to have
You
those
have
surveillance
to have
cameras.
it yourself.
Research systems that you can use.
Yep.
There's Ring, there's
All of them.
Arlo, there's Blink. There's so many different forms of doorbell surveillance cameras that every woman, I feel, should have in
Every
her
woman
home,
should have
especially
one.
if you are living alone. I always encourage you
And the
guys to
gun.
get weapons, get armed up. And if you have the information of these stalkers, you could also get a restraining order. It won't
They
physically
don't help.
protect you, but legally it will protect you if you do need to defend yourself and have to shoot one
That's
of
true.
them. But also, I know some of you guys might be fearful of dogs, but get a dog. Sometimes you might not have your weapon on you, and your dog is able to sense that something is off,
Yep.
and you need the dog to be able to defend you in the house in the event that you are unable to. I feel that having a dog in the house is a great alternative if there is no man present, because I was also going to suggest maybe these women shouldn't live alone, but some people just like their own space.
Well, you have no
so I fully
choice.
understand that, and I just feel like if you are going to live alone, definitely consider getting a dog if you can financially afford to. And part of the reason why I put such an emphasis on us protecting ourselves instead of relying on men to change, because this society is not invested in socializing men to correct their behavior, to accept accountability and responsibility. They have more invested in placating and coddling them, particularly within the Black community. And if you are ever in a similar circumstance, never, ever, ever open the door. I can't stress that enough. These men know that women love jewels and flowers and clothes, and they love to come to your doorstep, and they'll start sweet talking you or asking you, oh, so do you live alone? Off instinct, some of us aren't thinking, and we just answer their questions. The moment that they ask if you live alone, you already know. They announce your name, but they're not announcing or identifying themselves. Don't open the door. Just talk to them through the door. And one woman made a massive mistake doing this, where her neighbor also had a doorbell surveillance camera, and this man appeared at her door asking if some random woman lived there, and she said no, and she opens the door, and the moment she opens the door, he asked if he could out. She tried to hurry up and shut the door, and the man was struggling with her, trying to rush in.
You gotta stop going to your doors unprepared. It's just, oh gosh. I know, it's crazy.
Jennifer,
Yeah, right.
you here? No, you're just here.
Never, ever,
They don't
ever
even
open
care
the
about the
door under any
cameras.
circumstances. Whatever they have to say, they could say it to you through the door. Majority of the time, he's going to overpower you. He is going to be able to barge in through the door, and then it'll just be you in a fight for your life. Be as
Get a
vigilant
gun.
as
They're
possible,
not even that
because again, this
expensive.
is only going to get worse. So we have to take it upon ourselves to be locked and loaded, ready for
All
any
the
enemy
time.
that poses a threat. Get y'all some pepper spray. Make
Yeah.
sure that it's legally compliant. Get your knives. Make sure that it doesn't go over the legal length. Try, most importantly, to not hinder your sensory capabilities by being on your phone, having something in your ear, or just being distracted by social media or anything that could potentially cause you to not pay attention to somebody that could have been following you, watching you, or trying to attack you. I'm not trying to make you guys paranoid, just trying to make you aware. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Please drop some tips below on how women could defend themselves and identify these men who are potentially threats. Please ensure that you like the video, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in my next one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. Man, I mean, she gave so much information in there. Yeah, she said it all. And we have to be the ones to take care of this. And I've always been stressed, and I've been doing this business for a very, very long time. And the stories I hear, these women are so fortunate that those men did not come there just to, assault them. They were going to lose their lives. I'm telling you. The days of when growing up and they say, oh, just let them do what they, have to do and at least you're alive. No, you don't leave with your life. We shouldn't even have to go through this. Don't we have enough to worry about? But please, 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 take care of yourselves. Stay safe. I'm going to add some links under this video, and please go to the Paris Million's channel. She has some great information and stories, and she does really good work. And as women, we're just going to have to do this ourselves. We're going to have to keep the conversation constantly going and helping each other out and posting about these dusty losers out there who think they have a right to us. And we're just going to protect ourselves because no one else is going to do this for us. So once again, this is Sage with Fashionably Safe, where safety is always in fashion. Please check out my channel, and I'm going to possibly start doing some videos about, well, I know tomorrow I'm going to do some videos on some personal safety items just so you can know, introduce you to some. But I also am going to do some giveaways. I'm going to do some giveaways. Start my Patreon. I'm just very new to this YouTube thing, but I'm going to add some links to where you can get some items. And like I said, like, subscribe, and just stay safe. Once again, Sage, Fashionably Safe, where safety is always in fashion. See you soon.